The Gilded Cage and the Fracture.
Blackwood University. For over a century, the name has been synonymous with excellence, whispered with reverence in the halls of power. It is a campus carved from granite and old money, a place where the future is forged and promises are guaranteed. But beneath the ivy-covered facade, a terrible secret lies buried, a chilling reminder that even in the most prestigious sanctuaries, perfection is a myth. The year was 1994. The victim, Sarah Evans, a mathematics prodigy, destined for greatness, bright enough to eclipse her own stars. She was the golden child, admired by faculty, loved by friends, a life with no shadows, or so everyone believed. The silence shattered on a Tuesday morning. Sarah's body was discovered in the East Wing reading room, a room usually reserved for the forgotten texts and the dedicated few. It wasn't just a murder, it was an invasion. It was a calculated, brutal act that didn't just take a life, it tore the very fabric of Blackwood's self-image. The perpetrator was surgical, the scene meticulously controlled, a vacuum where evidence should have been. The initial breach and the expert's warning. The immediate aftermath was chaos disguised as control. The local police, overwhelmed by the sheer prestige of the institution, were met with the impenetrable wall of university security. This wasn't a crime scene, it was a public relations disaster, managed first, investigated second. The first 48 hours, the most crucial window in any homicide investigation, were squandered in a turf war. Key witnesses were interviewed by the university's internal team before law enforcement could even set foot inside the reading room. The initial findings were tragically simple. No forced entry, no immediate suspects, and the weapon was never found. It was a failure that would haunt one man for the next 30 decades, Detective Robert Hayes. A seasoned investigator pulled in from the state level. He saw the fatal flaw from the moment he arrived.
They didn't want a murder investigation. They wanted a quick fix. They treated it like a trespasser case, not a homicide. My blood ran cold when I realized they had compromised the entire area. The Blackwood machine was running interference.
Hayes's initial suspects were predictable, yet plausible. Sarah's long-term boyfriend, heartbroken and defensive, and a highly competitive, demanding professor rumored to have been too close to his star student. Both had weak alibis. Both had motive, depending on which narrative you chose to believe. But Hayes's gut told him the true target wasn't the victim, it was the case itself.
The ghost in the machine.
The official investigation stalled, but the unofficial digging, the kind that breaks careers, began. Hayes and his small team discovered that Sarah Evans's life was not the straight line of perfection her resume suggested. She had secrets, deep, disturbing secrets. There were late-night phone calls from blocked numbers, complex relationships, not just with her boyfriend, but with several powerful figures tied to the university's research grants. Sarah wasn't just a student. She was a threat to someone's meticulously constructed world. Witness testimonies crumbled under scrutiny. Her roommate claimed Sarah was studying alone that night.
The security guard swore he saw no one enter the East Wing after midnight, but the time of death contradicted both accounts. A crucial hidden email was recovered, a draft to an unknown recipient stating, "I know what you did. I won't keep quiet for your promotion." This wasn't a random act of violence. This was a silencing. Hayes realized the web was larger than a jealous rival. It was corporate, academic, and chillingly protected. He was hunting not a lone killer, but a shadow entity, the ghost in the Blackwood machine.
The unholy trinity of theories and the hidden sign. 30 years have allowed the theories to calcify, to become legends whispered in dimly lit dorm rooms. We are left with 3 dominant narratives. Theory 1, the academic rival. The most straightforward, a fellow student driven mad by envy. Hayes dismissed this. The crime was too precise, too emotionally sterile for an act of rage. Theory 2, the outsider, a random killer from the local town. Dismissed. The killer knew the layout and the blind spots. This person had institutional access. Theory 3, the university cover-up, the most insidious theory. Sarah was about to expose a scandal involving a powerful figure. The murder was a defense mechanism by the institution itself.
Every single red herring they threw at us, the boyfriend, the professor, it was all designed to distract us from the core truth. The evidence points to a source of power that the local police were terrified of. The silence that followed wasn't fear, it was compliance.
Hayes believes the killer is still tied to Blackwood, a respected figure who simply waited for the storm to pass. But as Hayes relentlessly reviewed the file in his retirement, he found something that the Blackwood machine had overlooked. Not a footprint, not a stray hair, something far more personal and far more sinister. A small, almost invisible detail that revealed the killer's true nature.
The signature wasn't in the violence, it was in the precise lack of something at the scene, and it proved, beyond any doubt, that the killer didn't just know Sarah, they sought to erase her very genius. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the terrifying truth we failed to see for 3 decades.
The cost of silence and the unfinished fight. The sign, Hayes found. A unique pattern in the arrangement of the research papers on Sarah's desk. A signature mathematical sequence left by someone intimately familiar with her work. A final, arrogant taunt left by a cold, calculating mind. The unsolved case left scars that never faded. Sarah's parents, consumed by grief and a fruitless quest for justice, eventually left the town, their faith in the system utterly broken. The Blackwood community today is marked by a deep-seated paranoia. The institution got what it wanted. The scandal faded. The reputation endured. But the haunting remained. For Detective Robert Hayes, the Blackwood case became his white whale. His obsession with the compromised investigation led to his early retirement. He sacrificed his career, his marriage, and his peace of mind, all for a file that sits cold and heavy on a precinct shelf.
I lost everything, but I learned one truth. Some people are not above the law. They are protected by it, or rather, protected by those too afraid to enforce it. I'm an old man now, but I still see Sarah's face. And I know, with absolute certainty, that the killer walks free, right where they started.
The campus killer remains a legend, a boogeyman, and a moral crisis. A victim's pursuit of truth was met with the ultimate price, and the institution of learning traded justice for its own spotless image. The file remains open, but the hope of a breakthrough shrinks with every passing year. The killer walks among us. For 30 years, silence has been their shield. Who will break it?